We're done for now. Contented with himself, yeah, he thinks he's pulled the wool over my eyes. Where are the two pricks I have to talk to? In order for Joyce to skip the... Not skip. To recognize my badge. And hold up a fucking end of the agreement. Ruins full of snow. No one lives here anymore. Maybe the old lady is the peddler.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
Me? I am the law around here.
Then I don't suppose you could tell me where we are, lawman. Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Where else would you be then?
Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with the young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buendero. Until you came along, that is.
I have some other questions for you, police questions.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of a motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard. You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs.
What do I need drugs for, lawman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary, no drugs can compare.
The adversary?
Yes. There is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Maybe she is the smuggler.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary. The great unrest.
That's not really what I was getting at.
Then what were you getting at?
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Everett sent me.
Who the fuck is Irad?
The union boss?
Ah, and what do I care about the union boss? He's no Gabriel. He's no Franco Negro. He's not even Hermenegildo the Hunt.
Okay, let me put this another way. You smuggling drugs through Terminal B?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
How can you not know what you're hauling in your own lorry?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grad?
Drugs. Fucking drugs.
No, Lawman. Diamonds.
I didn't ask you about diamonds, did I? I don't care about that.
Diamonds are good for you, Lawman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras.
If you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around here?
Easy. It's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Alright, if you're not involved with the drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting here?
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the futures of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
She strikes me as perma-fried.
I think we're done here, no?
What are you hauling?
Diamonds.
Really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
What are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what they're putting in?
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
What if it's contraband?
Then it's contraband, lawman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like bad hand, Hermenegildo.
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Apparently, you have to be pretty fucking committed to strangle one person, let alone 300. Christ. Thank you for now.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Let's go talk to Ceiling then. Let me work! I'm gonna start drinking if I don't! There's merit to that statement. You don't have a purpose, it's pretty easy to fall back into alcoholism. I'm still convinced it's the racist, but it is worth investigating Ceiling. That does explain where he got all this crap, though.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
So, Sealing, what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
I'm super into drugs.
That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person.
We're looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she is in this traffic jam.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
But you are a lorryman. Another driver has identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm...
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
He spreads his arms. So you forgot to tell me?
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
And stolen goods. Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbor?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Alright. If you don't know that, I'll tell your employer you've been selling his stuff.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there. After we've called his boss.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
If you don't want to get into this mess, you have to give us a reason to move on.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Yeah, she's rather proud of the fact that she's essentially a member of the cartel.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
Could she be associated with the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that.
Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Dazed out? Strange?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
I'm down to my last piece of snacking cheddar.
He's not ruling her out.
Okay, we're cool now.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
Homosexual underground. Maybe you should stop obsessing about your own and other people's sexuality. Feels like it's about time to do that. You thought about this for 8 hours? Not only should you stop, you should tell Kim you've stopped obsessing about other people's sexuality too. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Unless you already got him killed because you were obsessing about your sexuality. There's no way of telling from within your brain. But for your own sake, please say you didn't.
My god, is that even a possibility? Can I really bungle things so badly that Kim would be dead? I stopped obsessing about sexuality. I don't know if that means that I've, like, come to some realization that I'm, like, bisexual, or I've just decided not to think about it. Probably the latter. Find out who's the lady driver and where's her lorry. It's gotta be that lady. It's gotta be. That really narrowed it down. Let's talk to the other two before we confront her again.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
I heard that one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
Why? Do you know something? What is it?
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
Lying prick.
It's true. We would of course lie. But a kind heart is tricky.
Alright, fair enough.
Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
True. Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
Who is this person? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
I think the game is throwing me a bone and questioning like a possible connection with the Hardy Boys. It would make sense if the gardener and then later the lawyer was the trafficker. She would have to be intimately familiar with like legal proceedings, her own rights, and just to avoid getting like caught in the act. What does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
Oh, maybe it's I don't remember her name. The lady who paints skulls.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
When did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
I am prepared to beat the shit out of you. I have to. I will smack this fucking boombox over your face.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
You said she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
Okay, I think it is that lady who lives in the coal room.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Hold on, her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
The pain it was causing her.
When she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out.
He's afraid of her.
Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
So you're alright with others ratting her out? You just don't want your hands dirty?
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt, too.
Put yourself in my shoes. I need this for another investigation, too. It's important. I can't blow it.
You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
I wouldn't be so sure, Tommy.
She's a suspect, and I need you to tell me where she is, or I can't finish the investigation.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
Something breaks in him as he stares into my eyes. Where is the lady driver?
Here.
He takes a keyring from his pocket and looks at it before giving it to me, in silence.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday.
Let's go, Kim.
Thank you for your cooperation, sir. I know it was hard, but you did the right thing.
You don't really think so.
I really do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in the RCM. Take care, sir.
Well, I've functionally destroyed my relationship with this man, but I don't really give a shit. He was starting to piss me off. Given the dialogue choice, I absolutely would have smacked him with this fucking boombox. Because after a certain point, he was becoming complicit in her crimes by not sharing that information.
This green found, A to Z, contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our man pointed to.
Unlock the door.
You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just
Open it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Okay, no, that's smart, because that was my first thought. Check what frequency she's been communicating with. On, I should say.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
Is there anything else we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key.
What else is here?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
An ingenue, what does that mean? From the context, maybe it's like more racy than the others? Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
Makes me think of that bit in Frasier where Roz says that there was like this lady who, ironically, I can't remember the name of now, who wanted more than anything to be remembered. So she decided to be remembered for her suicide, but she ultimately died on the toilet after throwing up or something like that. What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip. The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a pull-out toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Pull out the pull-out toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold it.
It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
It still trails off. Okay, so yeah, it's essentially an encrypted bandwidth. Put the toolbox back.
The pull-out toolbox enclosed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
Yeah, this isn't a one-time thing for her. She's deep in it.
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well-funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
Maybe it's the fucking light-bending guy.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
How do you think this is connected to the Union?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
In short, this is a future angle, possibly a good one.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay. Debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
Okay, well that was pretty quick. I expected to have to track down the lady herself, but I suppose this information will suffice. I still didn't find the fucking two guys she was talking about that I had to talk to for my badge to mean anything. But since I did this for her, maybe she'll fucking talk to me now. Okay, so it is just the loudness of the speakers superseding the quietness of my boombox. What a piece of junk. This was my other thought, but I think her hair's black. I think it's like dyed with coal soot. Although, you know, let's try anyway, because she absolutely could have dyed her hair since the last time Tommy saw her.
Hello again, opposite.
Nope.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
Finally.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
You said contain the situation?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, This is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?